Welcome to Live Interactive English. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike.
And I am Karen. Today we are looking at day 1 of pistachios, a small seed with a big story. Pistachios, I mean, I love pistachios, but I didn't know that they have a big story.
Huge story. I didn't know that either, actually. Well, they do, and I hope they do, because we have a 2-day article about pistachios. So if they don't have a big story, we're going to be really bored very soon. But no, we're not, because already I'm going to tell you something. Pistachios are not nuts. We're going to call them nuts probably many times through this article. Oh, they're my favorite nut. That's such a good nut. I put those nuts in my desserts. That is all true, but pistachios are not nuts. In fact, you know what? When I think of pistachios, I think of this time of year, Chinese New Year time around January, February. I go to my wife's house for the big dinner, and there's the table in the living room, and they got a bowl of nuts. They got a bowl of those watermelon seeds, and there will be pistachios there. It's a popular gift, too, to give at this time of year. So the number of pistachios that I usually eat goes way up during Chinese New Year. And in fact, I had some yesterday in my mortadella, which is a wonderful Italian sausage you can put on your sandwich, and it has pistachios in it.
Ooh, that sounds really, really
They're
delicious.
Everywhere. They're everywhere when you think about it.
That's right. I haven't had pistachio actually in a while, but I really like pistachio flavored ice cream.
Yeah, of course. That's delicious. I haven't had that in a while.
I know. I'm getting hungry.
I need some pistachios in my life, and so do you. Well, the good news is that here they come. We got pistachios for you. It's a small seed. It's got a big story, and I am all in. Pistachios were big news in 2025 when a pistachio-filled chocolate from Dubai took center stage. But long before they became a trending flavor, pistachios had already earned their place in history. These delicious nuts are far more than a modern food craze. They've been loved for centuries. The origins of the pistachio can be traced back to the Middle East and Central Asia, and the nuts are among the earliest foods to have been grown and consumed. In fact, pistachios were even described in the Old Testament and were particularly popular with royals. The ancient Romans further expanded the nuts' popularity when they helped spread the seeds across southern Europe and northern Africa.
Looking at day 1 of pistachios, a small seed with a big story. Yay! We're going to be learning lots and lots about yummy, yummy pistachios.
Absolutely. Now, of course, pistachios have been around a lot longer than humans, probably, but they might have been something you noticed or heard about recently. It says pistachios were big news in 2025 when they became the first American nut president. No. They were big news in 2025 when a pistachio-filled chocolate from Dubai took center stage. I remember hearing Dubai chocolate. Oh, Dubai chocolate. You got to have some Dubai chocolate. It's so good. I found out it's chocolate with pistachios.
I never tried, but that would be delicious.
Yeah, of course that would be good.
Okay, but long before they became a trending flavor, pistachios had already earned their place in history. Had already earned their place in history. That means a lot of people have really loved them in the past, right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, these delicious nuts are far more than a modern food craze. They've been loved for centuries, for a very long time, because they are very, very delicious. So they've been trending. Okay, so to trend, that is a verb. To be the very popular topic, that's what it means, that many people are talking about. For example, also on social media too, or TikTok or YouTube, have been trending, becoming popular. An example sentence is, the video began to trend on social media within hours.
Oh, okay. I guess if it's something on social media, we could say it's going viral.
That's right.
And often when it goes viral, it trends in the real world. Suddenly everyone's trying to get a labubu, a pistachio labubu. Where can I get one? I need one so badly. All right, let's go over to Hanny. She loves pistachios and labubus.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这2天的课程主题不是 Labubu， 而是 Pistachio， 这是开心果。 在2025年，开心果成为热门新闻。当时有一款来自杜拜、内馅有满满开心果的巧克力成为了瞩目焦点。不过，其实早在这之前，开心果就已经在历史上占有一席之地，深受人们喜爱好几个世纪了。来看单字 trend 在这边当动词表示成为潮流，变得流行。它也可以当名词表示趋势、潮流。只是文中它是用现在分词 trending 来当形容词，描述说在网络和社群媒体上流行的。好，这边还有一个重点是Take center stage， 这是表达成为瞩目、关注的焦点，占据核心地位。Center stage 字面意思是舞台中央，这是舞台上最吸引观众目光的地方，因此引申为关注的焦点或是讨论的重心。例如Climate change often takes center stage when it comes to global environmental issues. 说到全球环境议题，气候变迁往往是关注的焦点。那我们接回课文中。
All right, we are back. So, the story of pistachios goes back a long time, does it? Oh, yeah. How long? Well, listen up. It says the origins of the pistachio can be traced back to the Middle East and Central Asia. And the nuts are among the earliest foods to have been grown and consumed. That is pretty amazing. So, Central Asia, the Middle East, this is where some of the earliest cultures, right, started to appear. And along with the earliest cultures was farming, agriculture. And apparently, like maybe before wheat or, I don't know, corn or rice or something, pistachios were being grown and consumed a long time ago. Tens of thousands of years ago. To consume something is to eat it. When we talk about food, you consume food and your body uses that food to get energy to keep you alive. But it can also mean to use up something. You might consume time by watching TV when you should be doing your homework or something like that. And of course, when cars drive somewhere, they consume gas or oil or things like that. So it's to use something up, often to get something out of it, like you get energy when you consume food, but basically we're using something up. And yes, with people, generally we mean food. For example, large amounts of fish were consumed at the event yesterday. I'm assuming they're eating that fish and not burning it in their cars. That wouldn't work. It would smell terrible.
Okay, let's continue with our article. In fact, pistachios were even described in the Old Testament and were particularly popular with royals. Oh, okay. So the royalty, they love pistachios as well, right?
That's right. That's apparently what we're learning. That's thousands of years back. That's what we're talking about. And also thousands of years back, just not as many, the ancient Romans. So this is 2,000 years ago. The ancient Romans further expanded the nuts' popularity when they helped spread the seeds across southern Europe and northern Africa. So the Romans Empire did extend into the Middle East and, other parts. They found the pistachio and said, hey, we can grow this closer to home, maybe in Spain, maybe in Italy, and in North Africa and countries like Libya and Tunisia and Morocco.
That's right. So to expand, that is a verb. To expand means to make something bigger or become bigger. It can also mean to spread out or to add more detail or to an idea or story. For example, you can expand a balloon by blowing into it, or you can expand a short story into a longer book. For example, we need to expand our vocabulary to talk more confidently.
Yes, if you have more words, you can talk gooder, which is not a word you should use. Let's find out about the words you should use, though. Let's go to Hanny.
开心果的起源可以追溯到中东和中亚地区，它们是最早被种植和食用的食物之一。那事实上，开心果甚至有在旧约圣经里被提到，并且特别受到王室的喜爱。那么在古罗马人的协助之下，把种子传到了南欧跟北非地区，进一步扩大了开心果它受欢迎的程度。先来看单字 consume， 这个动词表示吃、喝或者是消费、消耗。Expand 这个动词则表示扩大、增加或是扩展，它可以当及物或不及物用。而在讲到王室的时候 ，Karen 老师有提到 royalty， 那这个字表示王室、皇族或者是王室成员。解华课文中。
Thank you, Hanny, and now we are back. So we actually learned quite a little bit of history about the pistachios, and we already know how delicious the pistachios are, right?
We do. I don't need the article. I just need my mouth to eat them. But yes, that is very, very true. Now let's go to the second part of the article, and then we'll be right back. Growing pistachios, however, is far from easy, as the trees can take up to 10 years to bear fruit. Pistachio trees also require specific conditions to thrive. For example, they grow best in climates with hot, dry summers. Today, the US, Iran, and Turkey are the world's leading producers of pistachios. Regions in these countries provide the suitable conditions required for growth, which results in a rich supply of pistachios. All right, we are back and we're learning all about how important pistachios and how loved pistachios have been for people for thousands of years. Now let's find out where they come from. And no, it's not the pistachio fairy who delivers them to your house at night like Santa Claus.
That would be nice.
That's not where they come from.
Okay, so let's learn more about pistachios. Okay. Growing pistachios, however, is far from easy, as the trees can take up to 10 years to bear fruit. That takes such a long time.
Yeah.
Is that why they're actually quite expensive?
Could be. That's really interesting.
They
I think
are pricey.
Olives are very similar. So you plant the seed and then you wait 10 years for the tree to grow big enough until you can actually start getting anything out of it. So that means pistachio farming is a long-term game for sure.
Right.
Pistachio trees, it says, also require specific conditions to thrive. They're very kind of picky. You can't just grow them anywhere. So where would you want to grow your pistachios? It says, for example, they grow best in climates with hot, dry summers. So not Taiwan. We have hot, wet summers, but not dry summers. So these are very specific. When something is specific, it's like saying it's very exact. We have to be very careful with that. We can't just kind of guess or say, it's around this, We have to be very, very precise. When they're timing runners in the Olympics, they're very specific. 9.763. They don't just say, he did it in 9 seconds. They have to be very specific. If I'm going to meet you, I don't want you to say, I'll be there around 3 or 4 or maybe 5. Because that means I'll be waiting for you. So please tell me, will you be here at 3:15, 3:30, 3 o'clock? Be specific, be careful, be accurate, be precise. For example, can you be more specific about the problem you're having? If you say, I don't feel good, that doesn't help your doctor very much. Let's go to Hanny. She's going to be so specific, it'll blow your mind.
课文接着提到，种植开心果并不容易，因为开心果树可能需要长达10年才能结果，而且呢，需要特定的条件才能茁壮成长。它们最适合在炎热干燥的夏季气候当中生长。来看单字 specific， 它是形容词，形容特定的、具体的或是明确的。那这边有一个重点，我们来看一下 ，be far from 是表达一点也不怎么样，后面可以接形容词、名词或动词 ing， 用来强调否定语气。例如 ，The joke was far from funny， 那个笑话一点也不好笑。好，那接回到课文中。
And we are back. So we're talking about how pistachios grow really well in hot and dry climate, right?
Yes.
So let's continue on with the article. Today, the US, Iran, and Turkey are the world's leading producers of pistachios. So when we say they're the world leading producers, what's producer? That's a noun. A producer is someone or something that makes or provides goods and service for others to buy. So they make them, right? They grow them and they sell them. An example sentence would be, India is the world's largest producer of mangoes.
Also the world's largest producer of Indian food.
That's right.
Amazing, isn't it? Yes. So the U.S. and it's actually California. I discovered 99% of the pistachios grown in the U.S. in America California.
Because it's hot and dry.
It's hot and dry down
Wow.
south there. Maybe some in Arizona or somewhere like that. Anyway, so hot, dry, that's the ideal weather for a pistachio farm. It says regions in these countries, and of course these hot, dry areas of the countries provide the suitable conditions required for growth, which results in a rich supply of pistachios. If it's hot and dry after 10 years, you're going to have pistachios coming out your ears because that is the happy place and the happy time for the pistachios. And you know what my happy place and time is? Right here, right now, because we're going to go see Hanny.
如今，美国、伊朗和土耳其是世界上最主要的开心果生产国。那这些国家的某些地区就提供了生长所需的合适条件，因而带来了丰足的供应。刚刚 Mike 老师有提到一个用语是 have something coming out of your ears， 这是表达拥有的比想要或需要的多，多得不得了。那么课文单字 producer 则是表达生产者、出产国或者是制造商。这边还有一个重点是名词加上 VING 或 PP， 也就是分词片语的用法。主格关系代名词 who、which 或是 that 引导的形容词子句，可以省略掉关系代名词，然后把动词改分词来修饰它前方的这个先行词。而形容词子句表示主动或进行的话，是用现在分词 VING； 表示被动的话，用过去分词 PP。举例来说 ，The man who is sitting in the sports car is an actor。坐在跑车上的那名男子是一位演员。那 who is sitting in the sports car 这是形容词子句，我们就可以把 who is sitting 简化成 sitting， 那句子就变成 The man sitting in the sports car is an actor。我们这时候就看到了名词 the man 后面是接现在分词 sitting 来修饰它。好，接回课文中。
And we are back. Okay, that we have a lot of knowledge about pistachios now, right?
Yes,
we know
we do.
where we see them, we grow them, and I think the best place to grow them is in hot and dry climates, right?
Absolutely. And we're going to learn so much more about pistachios. Now we know how they're made, which is interesting. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about how they're eaten, which is much more interesting and much more delicious. So please come back and join us for that.
See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Pistachios were big news in 2025 when a pistachio-filled chocolate from Dubai took center stage. But long before they became a trending flavor, pistachios had already earned their place in history. These delicious nuts are far more than a modern food craze. They've been loved for centuries. The origins of the pistachio can be traced back to the Middle East and Central Asia, and the nuts are among the earliest foods to have been grown and consumed. In fact, pistachios were even described in the Old Testament, and were particularly popular with royals. The ancient Romans further expanded the nuts' popularity when they helped spread the seeds across southern Europe and northern Africa. Growing pistachios, however, is far from easy, as the trees can take up to 10 years to bear fruit. Pistachio trees also require specific conditions to thrive. For example, they grow best in climates with hot, dry summers. Today, the US, Iran, and Turkey are the world's leading producers of pistachios. Regions in these countries provide the suitable conditions required for growth, which results in a rich supply of pistachios.
最后，我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。单字的部分有 trend， 可以当动词表达成为潮流、变得流行，也可以当名词表达趋势、潮流。consume 动词表示吃喝、消费或是消耗。expand 这个动词表示扩大、增加或者是扩展。再看到 specific 是形容特定的、具体的、明确的。Producer 名词表示生产者、出产国或是制造商。文法的部分，第一个学到 take center stage 表示成为瞩目关注的焦点，占据核心地位。第二个学到 be far from 表示一点也不怎么样，后面可以接形容词、名词或 VING 用来强调否定语气。 第3个学到名词加 VING 或 PP 分词片语的用法。主格关系代名词 who, which, that 引导的形容词子句可以省略掉关系代名词，把动词改成分词 VING 或 PP 来修饰先行词。好，那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Guangfu Village was an experimental place, which means that it was built to try something new. It is now a location with great cultural significance in Taichung City, and I can't wait to tell you more about it. Guangfu Village was first built as an experimental project for the creation of Zhongxing New Village. Guangfu Village is an important historic site of the 9/21 earthquake. In the past, there were many attempts to destroy Guangfu Village. However, the Taichung city government and civic groups were able to make Guangfu Village the first cultural site in Taichung City, meaning it could not be destroyed in the future. Many rebuilding projects started, and volunteers were recruited to maintain the village. The film industry and multimedia industry worked to create a unique culture community for Guangfu Village. In 2014, the Taichung city government started a project for young people starting businesses. Through the work of the youth, urban culture, and creative economies, Guangfu Village and Taichung became known as a young, exciting, and creative city. Today, Guangfu Village remains as an important cultural site that not only reminds people of the past, but also inspires new ideas for the future. Thanks to the Taichung city government, it will be protected forever so everyone in future generations can learn from it as well.